Mute this thing so it doesn't explode in the audio
Oh, okay.
once it actually starts.
Never.
There we go. Okay. All right, we're live now, guys.
All right, good to hear.
So we're gonna have ourselves a little chat here. Anybody watching my channel already knows who I am, so start with Revan. You guys fucking introduce yourselves.
Hey, I'm Potato Revan, the internet's least favorite Potato Revan and sixth favorite Potato Revan in the country of Cambodia. That's a fact for some reason. For a week, I was popular in Cambodia. I'm a streamer. I've got a channel, Potato Revan. Go check me out. We do stuff like this over on my channel. I'll shit it down to the guys.
That'll be you, bro.
I'm Mr. Nobody. I talked a lot about stuff and know a bunch of other things. So, congratulations. Buy a book and get going.
Okay.
Hey everyone, I'm the Armchair Warlord. I am a novelist and veteran, and yes, currently law student. Getting towards the end of that one, and currently getting my hand bitten by a cat. So it's I also talk stuff about things, so you can. God, he's trying to. So I'm home for the holidays, and there are cats involved.
Yeah, well, there's always cats involved here.
Yes,
so
apparently. For those of you who don't know, AW goes cat hunting when he goes home for the holidays.
Stop.
Anyway, so we're gonna have a short discussion here about. Now, there's a lot of stuff. Anybody who watches YouTube channels like Young Ye or The Quartering occasionally will get some gaming news popped in. And we did the one last time. We did one of these about like the heavy reliance on the Chinese market with AAA gaming companies and how stupid that is, especially considering that China is locking down their games market now. Hey, Phoenix, good to see you, dude.
If only we could have had the timing to do it right as they locked Steam down.
Oh, that would have been fucking brilliant.
God.
That would have been brilliant because they did exactly what everyone, including Arch, said they were going to do, and they locked down Steam in China.
It was a week ahead of time, sadly.
But anyway, this time we're going to talk about the shit that kind of led to this stupidity, which is overmonetization and very dishonest schemes for overmonetization in AAA gaming in particular.
Yeah.
Now, I know I did mention to you guys, but who heard about the Ubisoft NFT fiasco?
I did not. Please fill me in.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to bother explaining NFTs. Like, seriously, look it up. It's easy to figure out.
It's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
It's fucking ridiculous. And as dumb as this is, and given the fact that only entitled weirdos with lots of money even bothered indulging in this lunacy, some genius in Ubisoft's executives thought, hey, this is a great fucking idea for future gaming projects. Let's introduce NFT freaking items into our video games.
That sounds legit.
And this gets dumber because the only things they had on offer for these NFT freaking things that you had to get a special type of currency to get were 3 pieces of armor for one of their games that's not even their most popular game.
That's impressive.
And the developers were not happy because they had just gotten done getting this game to a somewhat respectable point because this game had nearly crashed and burned once already.
Is that Helix credits?
No, it's not Helix credits.
Yeah, which game is this?
Oh, I'm trying to remember now off the top of my head. It's one of their spin-off freaking Rainbow Six games.
Rainbow Siege?
Okay.
No, it's not Siege. That's a main title. It was like one of their Tom Clancy spin-offs, but at any rate, the developers had actually kind of done a lot of work to get its reputation built back up after some other dumb crap happened during development.
Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Yeah, Breakpoint. Thank you. Breakpoint. But then despite that, Ubi decides to attach this NFT system to it, and the developers are like, don't do this. This is a stupid idea. We don't want it. And of course, the customers are like, this is a stupid fucking idea. We don't want it. And it caused such an uproar that I forget the prick's name, but the head executive of Ubisoft held an emergency staff meeting, right? And you would think the holding an emergency staff meeting on this would be kind of to try to build up confidence. But okay, we're going to take a step back from this. Do you know what this meeting was?
How to make it worse?
No, this meeting was him going, "Oh, don't worry, we're going to do it anyway, but don't worry, everything will be fine. You're just overreacting. Don't panic.
So it wasn't
Calm
as
down."
much of a meeting, it was more of a statement briefing.
And
We're
this
gonna do
got
this
bad
anyways.
enough that the union behind their developers started coming out against it
That's
publicly.
fun.
Publicly coming out against
That-
the NFT idea.
That reminds me of some that Elder Scrolls did.
We'll get to it.
So-
Hold on.
Yeah.
Because we're going to go through that, and I'm going to let you get on that that Bungie thing you wanted to talk about, too.
Oh, yes.
So the funny thing is, these were out for 2 weeks, right? These NFT purchase things.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking bought them. Like, I think a handful of people in a 2-week span might have bought a couple of these things. So they tanked. They made nothing. And then what happened? All the people who called them out for it turned around and went, "Yeah, we told you. That was fucking stupid. Now we're going to laugh at you and basically spread all over the internet how you're a bunch of fucking morons. Good job."
Yeah, sounds well deserved.
Absolutely.
Well, it's like that. They're just trying to. They're like, oh, well, NFTs are a new way to monetize stuff, so we're
And you
going
know
to
what
try
the
to do
sad
that.
thing is? They're the only ones, Ubisoft's dumbass, are the only ones to actually try it. Not even EA has tried this shit.
Well, it's because
They were
Ubisoft
tired.
is one of those companies that's exactly dumb enough to try something like that.
Because it was either EA or no, it was 2K, unsurprisingly. 2K mentioned wanting to try it at one point, but then they backed off of it. Which, by the way, I know I may have said this in other streams before, but 2K is one of the most under-recognized companies for shady-ass bullshit practices like these. And they always seem to get a free pass with a lot of people, and I don't fucking know why that is.
It's because a lot of people like Grand Theft Auto Online,
Or
They
that
want-
fucking those bullshit sports.
and they want to
titles.
overlook the legalized gambling for kids that they basically do with one of their DLCs.
Yeah,
And that's-
GTA,
Yeah, GTA. That's another thing we're going to discuss is the loot box thing was goofy enough, okay?
yeah.
And to DICE's credit, when EA forced that loot box shit in Battlefront 2, because everybody still likes to bring it up as the perfect bad example. Well, here's the thing. It's not. That got fixed at great expense to DICE because EA wanted to continue to force it to be there. DICE busted their asses for 2 years fixing what they fucked up and making Battlefront 2 fun to play. And they don't really get proper recognition for it because people just like to shit on people online. It makes them quote unquote popular. But that was a bad example. In the beginning, it was also an example of how you could fix it. But the Diamond Casino DLC, if I don't even know what it's called,
Yeah.
GTA bullshit, you literally put for actual purchased money gambling in a fucking game that you know fucking kids play.
So, can I talk about this? Because I actually played the game when this was out.
Go ahead.
So, they had this casino, and you go in, and they'd have, like, the best cars, everything like that, the best money. And me and my friend, we were there, and we were like, okay, let's just, like, give this a whack. We'd put money on to get cars, and we had a few left over.
Okay.
And you also get one free spin a day. Now, out of the 10 spins that we had bought with $20,
Mhm.
we got like a number of t-shirts, hats, and a crap motorcycle.
Yeah, figures.
Yeah, just skins.
Just the problem.
Yeah.
The whole basic principle of gambling is not something you should be introducing to kids because a lot of kids, especially kids who just get given what they ask for, they don't have enough of a concept of money and value to understand what this is.
Oh, and look
not
at,
really.
You know, the thing is that this isn't actually even gambling. It's worse than gambling because in gambling you have a chance of winning money. Here, there's no chance of winning money. It's just throwing money into something hoping you
Well,
get
also,
a random small drop.
the
Yeah.
casinos will stop children who are underage from gambling.
Exactly.
The other thing
You
is,
got
let's explain one other element. When I say it's gambling for real money, I know some people are going to catch it on the technicality. It's that a lot of people are going to use up more than what they have in game, and they're going to buy something
and then they're
called
going to
a
buy. They're
shark
going to go
card,
to buy more of those fucking
Yeah.
which is
cards.
fake money that you buy with real money.
Yeah.
That's how they get
Like-
around it.
Which is absolutely ridiculous. And now what they're doing is they're doing this thing where it's like, hey, you come on and you get, like, you buy something. I forget its name, but you get so much free money, like $500,000 every month. It's like,
Yeah,
ooh.
right.
So I'm sure
Like-
that's like $1 in actual what you can actually purchase.
Oh, I'm sure the
That's
currency
like-
exchange is shit.
$5.
It's been mentioned by a couple of people. AW, your audio is roboting kind of bad, and you're staticking out.
Oh, is my robotic? Is my audio roboting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I may not be able to do
No,
anything
it's
about
gone.
that. My
you're
well,
back
fine.
again.
It's
Okay.
a little bit better now, so I don't know what you did.
Weird.
It might have been because I was screwing around in Discord and uploading stuff.
Oh, yeah,
that's
it's probably.
possible,
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
one.
sorry, I'll
element
stop.
To it.
No worries.
Here's my thing on this NFT stuff. I have a concern that even though it's failed spectacularly, it's going to become something that becomes common, because that's usually what these horrible business practices start as failures that they push through anyways. And I think in light of what's going on with the Chinese market effectively constricting itself out of their reach, that they're going to start trying to turn to some of these more odious ways of monetizing.
But here's my take on it: is
They-
that they could keep trying to push it, but the harder they push it, the more people are just going to ignore it, or they're just going to flat out stop buying.
Elder Scrolls Online is really, really bad for this. So, on Elder Scrolls Online, they've got these things called crowns, which is what basically fancy term for real money. Okay?
Yeah.
And you get these things called crown chests, which are literally gambling. Like, you put the money in and you get random loot, right? And you don't know what you're going to get out of these boxes. And I have seen people putting in 2, 3, 4, 5,000 at a time just to see could they get absolutely everything, and they didn't.
Jeez.
But the thing is, it changes every month, and then you have this, and then it's like, oh hey, you've got the big ones, yeah, but now we've got these subsections of it. Like, you got this big tiger, yeah. Look, it's got a little kitten with a flame butt. Like,
What really bothers me about that practice too is, remind me because I don't remember. Does Elder Scrolls Online have a subscription fee or not?
yes, $12.99 a month.
Okay. See, here's
And
where
for
my
that-
problem comes in.
Yes.
Let's take, for example, another game we played, which is Guild Wars 2.
Mm-hmm.
Guild Wars 2, you buy the game, and they're not usually that expensive, or the expansion or whatever. There's no subscription fee. So their little online marketplace, which, by the way, is not fucking loot boxes. There's just stuff there for you to just buy. That's how they pay to keep their servers running. But
Yes.
if you already have a game that is running on a subscription fee and that is being charged full price for, there's no excuse for that other than you're just fucking greedy. Which it's Bethesda, so
Yeah,
like big fucking surprise.
Me, Phoenix, and AW have been playing a game called Sea of Thieves of late. And the whole thing of Sea of Thieves is basically unlocking cosmetics. That's basically its whole shtick. But
That's kind
you
of like
can
how
have a
Overwatch
choice.
did.
Yeah, you have a choice of, if you want to put in real money, you can get these really rare, really unusually looking sales, hulls, everything like that. But you don't have to. You can unlock cool ones as well in-game. And they recently gave us an entire Halo set for just being on the game.
That's
All right.
nice.
And that was a thing that, despite all, I have no love for Activision Blizzard because they have completely destroyed pretty much every game of theirs I ever enjoyed.
Yeah.
From World of Warcraft to Overwatch to Diablo, but they did have the thing in Overwatch back when I used to play it where, yeah, there was stuff you could buy, but it was all cosmetics. It had no effect on gameplay, and it was one of the games where they said that where it actually was true. And you could get the stuff with just the money you got from winning games or playing matches or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the ones where they do this shit where not only do you got to pay for this shit, but you also have no guarantee of getting the shit you're trying to pay for.
I mean,
Well,
yeah,
go ahead.
it's really just a method to soak money out of people.
Oh, yeah.
It is. Like, and Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft does this as well with their stupid Helix credits, where you go on and it's like, oh, hey, you've unlocked this by playing the game, blah, blah, blah. It's like, but look at this Ezio armor. Look at this. Like, because I was playing Odyssey. And it's like, look at this Ezio armor. Look at this blah, blah, blah armor. Like, for your character.
Did you ever actually look at those? Because I played Odyssey for a long time, and I didn't even really notice those. I wasn't even paying attention.
I did. Yeah, because sometimes while you unlock in the game, you can actually get stronger weapons. And there is a master's outfit per game that you can get by playing other games. That's why I'd say have a look at it.
I mean,
That's
the
the only
one
reason.
thing is, man, because I loved freaking Odyssey, but honestly, the armors
Hey,
that
guys,
you got, I know
Phil's here.
I'm getting to it. But the armors you got for Cassandra, I thought were plenty fine enough without any additions.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, it just switches between the games. Some of them are fantastic. Some of them are crap.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's,
Okay, we have
Hey,
another
Phil.
member here who needs to put an icon on his shit if he's able to. If not, that's fine.
Unfortunately, I don't know if I can using my phone.
Oh, you're still in your car, ain't you?
he's live from the submarine in Maroon 5. Tell us,
God.
how are the depths?
I don't
Coming
like
at us from the
Maroon 5.
Coming at us from the bottom of a bucket.
Oh,
I've been fighting the octopus tribe as far as I can see, and I can say it's got a lot of marks.
We have Phil here who's dialed in on a high-frequency connection from the other side of the planet.
but
Where literally, I'm literally coming in from the other side of the planet to you guys, and I have a better connection to Phil. Phil, tell me, how's the bucket?
wow. Did we lose him already? Oh, there he is.
I'm here. The connection's not the problem. The microphone on my phone is.
Oh, okay.
Just shout really loud out your window. We might hear you coming in through Farm's window.
But the thing is, and the other thing I want to talk about is the difference between, because let's be real, there's a lot of people on the internet, they just like to stir shit
Yes.
to get attention. And there is a difference, because I've seen a lot of games get lambasted for quote-unquote microtransactions, when what they're actually doing is putting out DLC. And I've seen this, oh, well, how dare they charge money for this thing or that thing? They're just another evil corporate this or that. And it's like, okay.
Well,
look.
I mean, DLC isn't a microtransaction. That's a macro transaction, right?
But I'm like, developing content, despite what some of you college-living dickheads might think, costs fucking money. And if a game did not meet, if a game did not meet its sales expectations, or they ended up having, DLC content that costed more than they thought, some stuff is going to cost fucking money. You're going to have to get over if you want the extra content. Because shit is not free.
Well, we used to call them expansion packs.
Yeah, they call them expansions. Like, for example, a couple good examples. Kingdoms of Amalur, if anybody remembers when that game came out before, got a re-release recently called Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. So,
Re-Reckoning?
in kind of a joke, they call it Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning when they re-released it and updated it. Well, they said if that made enough sales, they were going to try to come out with a DLC for a game that was a few years old by now. Well, and that was considering they released this game with all the prior DLC and they didn't charge extra for it. And in fact, it was like, I think, a $40 game when it came out again. Well, they put the DLC out. The DLC is not horribly expensive for like literally over 6 more hours of shit and a completely new zone and enemies. And people inevitably are griping. Back when I used to play Killing Floor 2, those guys would do this thing where whenever they do a wave of DLC, which was usually more weapons and character skins and some more maps, what they would do is the maps would be free. There would be 2 free weapons, and then there'd be 2 more weapons you could get if you paid for some DLC. And they weren't even expensive. And people tried to crucify them for this. It's like, but they're giving you free shit already.
Well, with the way Phil's mic is picking up, it sounds a little bit like the radiation detector from Fallout 3. And with the kitchen noises, it sounds like he's looting a kitchen.
Oh, God.
I've got to find something for this 22 so I can stop them super mutants.
Oh, God. But and then you've seen some of this shit. I mean, you bring up a couple of ones that you thought were more odious, Josh. I know we've had a lot to say about 2K's practices.
Well, before we dive into that, let's circle back to that's gonna get me some memes there. Let's go back to the NFT thing and just give a final round of opinion on if we think this is going to be something that dies and goes away, or if it's going to be.
Then after that, let's hit up 2K specifically because then
we can move on to some of the odorous practices of 2K's sports games. So I'll start. I think the NFT thing is going to initially fail, but more developers are going to try to shove it in as a desperate attempt to please their
losses from China.
Yeah, and to keep pushing the profits higher, and I think that's going to become a problem because they're going to be focused less on the games and more on trying to sell you stuff that means nothing. And it's going to hurt the wider game market, but I think it's also going to give a lot of smaller developers a chance to really maneuver into the market. So there's a bit of a positive lighting there.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think they'll try to push it. I think just like when Uber tried to push it, it will fail and it'll largely get ignored. And if they try to force it into games, people get sick enough of it that a lot of people will stop buying these games. It's going to backfire even if you try to force it.
Speaking about backfiring, may I talk about Bungie?
Yes, we're going to get to that. After that, we can hit these.
Well, weren't we going to do the round table?
Do we want to do take two? I don't know
and
how
then
long
go to that.
I don't know how long Owen's got because he keeps getting called away.
Well, let's finish up on the NFT thing and then.
All right, we'll finish up on the NFTs.
All right, who wants to go next? Phil?
Hey, W, you got an input on that?
The NFT thing. I mean, I think I've kind of already said my piece. It's extremely stupid.
We haven't had Phil say much on it, so let's get.
You got anything, Phil?
First of all, can you hear me all right from where my phone is?
Kinda. We're getting a lot of interference, though.
Yeah, we got some weird sounds coming from you.
I'll hold it up. How's it?
Slightly better.
All right. Only interference is just going to have to be a thing because driving. It's an old car. It's going to be noisy.
That's fine.
About that.
I mean, if you're having too much trouble, I can just have you on the next one, dude. It's up to you.
Yeah, Phil. Honestly, I'd say, man, you're driving right now, and I know you're on speakerphone, but
because we're having trouble hearing you, and we're getting more interference than words.
It kind of sounds like water drops.
Yeah, Phil. Concentrate on driving, dude.
I'll bring you in on the next one, dude. No worries.
No worries.
All right. Sorry about this, guys.
No problem, man. It happens.
Hey, it's a long trip from the moon back to Earth. It's cool.
All right, man.
Don't forget to shine the end of my bucket.
Bye, man.
See you. Oh, before I go, fuck you, Kevin Smith.
All right.
Tradition.
Man. Later.
Yeah, I think it's more important that he's safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, then because
Okay.
Yeah, considering driving down I-4
Yeah.
and
Most
how about no?
interstates, especially an interstate in Florida. No, fuck that.
Yeah.
Pray
Anyway,
for him, audience.
It looks like we've kind of done our round on the NFTs. We'll hit the Bungie thing first because he's been itching to talk about that. Then we'll hit up 2K.
All right, let's talk about Bungie's practices. Tell us about it.
So Bungie made a deal with Xbox, right? And all the players were grinding, all the players were fighting along. They're like, we're trying to get as high as the light level we can. All new players started off level 0, right? Nope, not anymore. New light came out. All players started off. Every single player at the moment of new light got to 1042 base. Everyone started at that. All their weapons went from being all random levels to 1042, and anything above that stayed above it.
Okay.
The players were pissed. Then every single DLC became free on Xbox, but on the other platform you had to pay for each and every DLC. Now what they're doing is they're doing a thing called vaulting, where they're putting in. They're saying they don't have enough room on their servers for it, but they're getting rid of random content, like main part story content, and are locking it away. And players can't see it. They've even removed large chunks of the actual map, planets, everything like that. Claim that this mythical bad guy, the Darkness, who 10 years later we still don't know what the hell the Darkness is, shows up and like Mars now went away. It's like, how the hell did the planet just disappear? Like there's no rhyme, no reason for how a planet disappeared. What they've started doing is they've started being like, oh hey, you want this bike, you want this thing, you can no longer unlock certain bikes in game. You have to get a season pass, then you have to grind your ass off to get these bikes in PvP. To get exotics. Then what they've done is they're removing Destiny from the Xbox, which means anyone who's playing it via Xbox has to pay for it or will lose everything.
Wait. What do you mean they're removing it? Yeah,
they're removing the free to play versions from it. You can't. Yeah, usually like you'd get all the DLCs for absolutely free.
Yeah,
it sounds like Bungie's trying to recoup their losses after splitting from Activision, and they're doing a really shitty job.
Oh, they screwed with the lore. They made Osiris gay. Now they're after killing Osiris because he's apparently this big, giant female witch thing that's been taken over his body, where he is nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds legit.
And it is. And he used to be everyone's like most badass guy that you never saw, right? Then they brought him into the game. They're like, Osiris is returning in one of the DLCs. And I swear to God, you'd see people and they're like, oh, you'd see these big metal boots and they're like, wait, that's Osiris, right? And they looked and they're like, why is he dressed like a giant chicken? Like literally, I heard people referring to him as the Chicken Man.
Oh,
yeah, and like this guy is about 50 something and going out doing fighting and everything like that, dressed as a giant chicken, and people are meant to think he's terrifying. But
is this a serious thing that actually got pushed?
Yes.
No,
this is a serious character design. AW, I will DM you what he looks like. This is a serious thing. He genuinely looks like a giant chicken.
Why?
Because fucking reasons.
That's it?
They didn't give any fucking explanation, dude.
Yeah, they literally didn't give any explanation. Like, they had his entrance and he was meant to look awe-inspiring and terrifying, and people are like, why is he a giant chicken? Okay, so Farv, I'm going to send this to your DMs. If you could click on any of the pictures and share the screen.
Yeah. Just go ahead and send them. Oh yeah, I see. You know what? I see what they were trying to do. The problem is they fucking failed super hard.
This is gonna make my head hurt, isn't
Well,
it?
they're trying to go for an Osiris motif in that kind of Stargate way, but it looks so cheap. And making something look cheap in a game, you got to be trying to do that because you could have designed this to look any way you want it. I'm about to show it. Hold on, just give me a second.
Okay. I think I'm mentally prepared.
This is just fucking sad.
Oh, Fire! I'm sending you the last one, a final last image, which is him without mask on.
Oh, good. All right, hold on. He looks like a tired old man.
Yeah,
tired old man. Oh.
It's the look on his face. It's not bad. He looks like an old bald guy.
So
but
it's the sequel trilogy all over again.
Ooh. Okay, let me start with one of these.
Can't wait. I can see that Han Solo in his 70s looking tired and like he wants to end himself. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah. In Destiny, your characters look the way they are from the moment that they died.
So there's the first side view of this alleged badass.
Could you make it a little larger?
I can try. Hold on.
The chicken helmet is quite impressive.
There you go.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's a chicken helmet. He's a chicken. He's got he's a big old rooster cock of the walk right there.
I have come here to bring fried chicken.
And there's even jokes.
Is there some is this like a convoluted KFC tie-in?
No, this is a genuine Sears character. He is the most powerful guardian who's ever lived.
Hold on, I got the other ones he said. Hold on.
In the story, they said that if given the chance, if given the words, he would lead revolutions. He would lead the city.
Look how cheap the rest of the costume looks.
That isn't finished animation. That's still test footage.
This is the ninja chicken.
Ninja chicken.
Oh man, I'm not doing the voice for Ninja Chicken.
Ninja chicken.
And now give me just a sec, and I'll show the one of him without the mask on. Because it is equally done.
But there's now a joke because his boyfriend's a robot. Which,
because of course they had to make him gay, because everything has to be gay in the mainstream.
Yeah. But they're saying that...
and here's what this motherfucker looks like without his helmet on.
I am getting some gay vibes off that. Like that is a really well maintained beard. He looks like the older queen. You know what I'm saying?
Electric Six kicks in with that song.
Oh, like you walk into the gay bar and there's the older gentleman there. Like that's the vibe I'm getting right now.
Yeah.
What a fucking mess. But go on. I know there was more you wanted to fucking...
Yeah, so they then brought out this entire new... They're now bringing out this entire new DLC, The Witch Queen, which means that they're locking away even more content.
Yeah, I did hear that every time they release something new, they're just taking older shit that people were still playing and just completely removing it from being able to be touched.
Now, our friend Maxis, she started playing Destiny, right? Because she's like, oh yeah, we'll play with the new DLC, blah, 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 like on Xbox Game Pass. She'll play with us. Yeah. If she don't have it all done by February 14th, yeah, she won't get to know what the story is, and she's a completionist.
Jesus. See, that's fucking stupid. Even World of Warcraft at its worst didn't remove fucking content that people were still fucking playing.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, God, people are still kind of up in arms with, because you know how Guild Wars you can't access Living World Season 1 because of how they did it originally. Yeah, that's like the biggest mistake ANET ever made was they made all that stuff like.
And you know what? To ANET's credit,
on the main map.
Yeah, to ANET's credit, they went back and they actually started making episodes playable again and leaving them that way. Like Destiny's just removing shit.
Yeah, they've
got like microtransactions and everything, and now they're like people have like legendary charge, which you use to power up your arm. If you got a
I
Hold on, I'll
see it.
deal.
I see it. Hold on, I got it.
No, I got the wrench. Boom.
I already blocked the son of a bitch.
Yeah. So, like, you got these things called legendary shards, which you use to power up your armor.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you got an armor whenever you level it up to by sacrificing an armor of another level. Right?
Yeah.
The same currency they now use, it's the same currency that you use to buy exotics from this guy who shows up. And it's also the same currency that you use to buy some other materials. So this one currency is used for 3 things that if you're doing all 3 things at one time, you basically are going to lose it.
What?
Yeah.
And that's the main currency of the game. And they've also got in that if you still got like tokens and little niggly nags, whatever like that from previous DLCs and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like little things left over. The description is now
Whoa,
gone
what
to
is that?
What?
What's that like staticky noise?
Jennifer went to go use a shower because she got a migraine.
Oh.
Sorry, I can't really do much about that.
So then it now says this item used to once belong to the Titan Vanguard leader. You can just discard it, but you have to grind your ass off to get it.
Oh
It's
boy!
like, yeah, you can just discard it now.
What?
Brilliant! Fucking brilliant!
And the fan base are like, we hate this. Like, and someone hacked the game, hacked the code, and they're like, there is enough room for everything. Why don't you just make Destiny 3 already? Come on, like, seriously.
And even me, who never touched Destiny, I've been hearing the people complain about why the hell haven't you just started Destiny 3?
Yeah.
Why do you just keep doing this?
They turned around and they're like, oh, we've got 10 years of the darkness. Finally, we're finishing this 10-year-long storyline that's been going on, but now we've got Beyond. And everyone's asking, because our Guardian has a title, The Young Wolf, right? And we keep getting more and more powerful. The question is, what for? Like, if
with no even broad notion of what the end game is, like, what are you building power towards?
Yeah, and there was a theory one time that we were going to become a god at one stage in Destiny. Like, we can wield all the different sub-elements and we can switch between them.
Okay.
Yeah, no, now every single character can do that. That ain't nothing special.
Oh, boy.
And it's just, like, they killed off a character, Cade, in one of the DLCs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you started the game today, you're like, oh wow, I liked Cade, I wonder what he's up to. As soon as you go on, it's like, at the funeral of Cade. It's like, thanks.
Yeah. I had heard about that one.
Yeah, which is absolutely... Like, the Bungie community don't even respect the game anymore because what happened, like, with George Floyd and everything like that, I'm not just going to get into it, but just talking about what Bungie did, right?
Okay, yeah,
so,
I heard.
Bungie had this Twitch event, and they were going to do a big load of reveals.
For the love of God, you fucking troll.
This is happening on everyone's streams.
Remove.
All right, continue.
I blocked them.
So, yeah. They're like, okay, like, then you hear the music for the intro to the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, the stream is going to start in 8 minutes, 45 seconds. I was like, oh, cool, I wonder what it's going to be, and then it came up like 8 minutes, 45 seconds is all that George Floyd had.
Oh, man, go fuck yourself. Get the fuck out. Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go on a tirade about that.
No. I'm not expecting. I'm just talking about what the company
Oh, no,
did.
I was just holding myself back. Because fuck that.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
But
Okay,
And-
so they've been gating content, increasing the monetization, and they're effectively going back and screwing people from participating in content. And there's no third game in sight at all.
The game
Not as
is
far as
basically
anybody can tell.
The game is basically Destiny 3. This is what's annoying.
Basically, they've taken all the production time and resources that they could have been using for as long as people have been asking for the third game, and they just keep piling it into more DLC.
They're blaming the pandemic and COVID and things like this, but they're not.
Okay, let me take a side on that real quick.
Yeah.
That becomes such a disgustingly convenient excuse for every AAA gaming company to make about everything they fuck up lately.
Yeah, and they're weirdly
it's the modern problem of somehow we as a society have quite recently forgotten how to make things. And apparently this is going directly into the video games industry.
Well, what it is, it's not necessarily that, because a lot of people still do it. It's just you're lazy assholes who run these big groups. It's just the most convenient excuse they can give when they fuck something up now. So they just rely on it.
It's what mega corporations do. They don't want to put the money or the intellectual effort or the creativity into developing something new. They just want to keep on milking what they've got until they can't get blood out of the stone anymore, and then they yell at their fans when their fans tell them to shape up.
Yeah,
like they had this big announcement about
yes, Phoenix, I agree. Just like with fucking Half-Life, fuck that.
They had this big announcement about the making of Destiny, right? And they went on for 15 minutes straight about how many people they had who were breastfeeding. To such a level that even the people in the Twitch stream said, "Is this an advertisement for breast pumps?"
Is this some kind of like weird fetish these people have? I don't get it.
I think so. Like it was honestly weird because it's like, "Hi, I'm Susie. Yeah, I was working on the Witch Queen while breastfeeding my 3-year-old and my
like
brand new
nobody
baby at
asked
home."
you this, you fucking crazy broad. What the fuck is the matter with you?
This is something that nobody ever talks about. Nor should they.
No. But and then it's just the Destiny community's dead. Like I haven't even touched the game in a few months at this stage.
I don't blame you. I heard a lot of people have been jumping fucking ship.
Yeah. Like we've got another friend. She grinded the game as well for a really long time. She's not going on it.
I don't fucking blame her. It's the reason Josh and I fucking quit playing WoW, because Blizzard's full of shit and they're just fucking everything up now.
Yeah.
Blizzard trying to paper over the fact they've got a hideous workplace culture by changing some stuff in the game that might have been mildly sexist.
Trying to cover up a scandal by fucking making a big fucking publicity stunt out of the fact that they're removing shit people like from the game world and implementing a bunch of dumb bullshit nobody asked for.
Yeah, it's like, I've got a better idea. How about you actually have a real sexual harassment in the workplace policy and make games people want to play? Maybe
address like abusing your fucking developers.
Yeah, like
to the fact that everybody. That's the thing. That was such a big issue when Activision merged that after fucking Metzen left Blizzard, which is his company, he's just like, yeah, fuck it, and left. Well, Blizzard doesn't even fucking exist anymore. Every motherfucker who worked on anything that Blizzard did is gone. Yeah. They're all Acti employees.
The disgusting thing here is that Blizzard is trying to paper over a sexual harassment scandal in their workplace by going woke. What I'm saying here is this is purely Activision. There are no Blizzard employees left. They all left. They're gone.
Yeah, like in the con pages and things like that I'm part of, which most everyone there are gamers. Whenever anyone shows a video from someone working at Blizzard, it's always cited when I worked at Blizzard, right? Past tense.
That's it. There are no Blizzard employees left. They jumped ship months ago.
Well, okay, then it's Activision wearing Blizzard's skin like Buffalo Bill.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're wearing a skin suit, son. Well, that
Like-
does seem appropriate.
I always did think that Activision was a space cockroach.
Like, okay, Activision was okay back in like the '90s. They were pretty good, but these days, no.
Yeah.
One of Activision's primary issues was Bobby Kotick and his gaggle fuck of executives.
No, it's the same story everywhere. You get a company that's founded by people who are passionate about doing what they're doing, and then it gets taken over by a bunch of corporate executive types who they're just business majors. They don't care about gaming. They don't care about the community. They just they just care about what their bottom line, what they think will make them money, and that's the same failed corporate strategy that's running businesses into the ground across this country.
But before we drill this into the Earth's core, let's let Josh get on the 2K thing we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Talking on corporate structure and odious ways of monetizing your game, and a company that I think in general Favre's made a point of saying that just gets overlooked in a lot of these cases. Like, everybody can go Activision and EA, but wow, that shower is really loud.
I'm sorry, guys. I legit can't do nothing about it.
Favre's actually in the shower with Jen right now. He's just
Jesus Christ, no. And you would not hear me on here if I was. Anyway, as a preface to what
That would be a very different type of stream.
2K is the company which is responsible for, anybody who knows me know I like Turtle Rock as developers. And they made Left 4 Dead 2. They did a lot of the coding for the original Left 4 Dead, and Valve fucked them over. Well, then they got out there and they made this game called Evolve, which initially I really liked. And then 2K, who was a publisher that picked them up, not only fucked them over, but they stole their intellectual property out from under them and then fired their whole fucking department. This was 2K. 2K killed Evolve because they tried to turn it into an F2P with a bunch of monetization shit on it, which is never what fucking Turtle Rock wanted it to be.
Well, they were also responsible for the dearth of DLC at the beginning as well.
Yes. 2K ruined that game, and everybody blamed it on TR, and then TR got booted because 2K just wanted to buy their IP and whore it out, and then the minute they started, it just died because nobody cared anymore. But the biggest guilt with 2K is their sports titles, and that's where I'll let Josh go in.
All right. Well, I'm going to just assume that most people are familiar with the 2K sports franchise. You know, the roster changing activity.
It's just like EA's Madden issue. Yo.
I'm going to send you something from a friend of ours.
Okay.
To deal with this.
Okay.
Okay?
Go ahead.
Yep.
All right. So, most people are probably somewhat familiar with those franchises, at least in passing, and when those games come out, they usually see the crowds. One of the biggest problems recently, and I'm going to use that in a euphemistic term, recently, is the fact that they implemented this card system where you get different qualities of different players with super duper rare versions set to suspiciously small, if ever, drop rates.
Ain't that the fucking
And
truth.
if I recall, I think they actually got caught when they said they were releasing these, actually having them with no drop rate to absorb as much money as possible.
Oh wow.
Yep. Oh yeah.
They were advertising zero drop rate stuff.
They were literally saying, "Oh, this is out," and then somebody did some investigation, and what happened was they were just still disabled in the code.
Oh,
so
wow.
there was no way you could actually get the product you were rolling randomly on.
Mm-hmm. This is something somewhat related, not so much to the monetization, but definitely with the tampering that I was asked to share. So give me just a second. You can keep talking. I'm just going to have to put this on.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
to continue on this, it's become such a problem, and it's so important because, let's face it, most of the people who play these games, oh geez,
Yeah, what they did that shit. All
so when
because
did they
of
get her brother to
monetization
cross
and
dress?
trying to pander to an audience that didn't exist for more monetization. There's a follow-up image. Hold on a sec. Because somebody posted a side-by-side, and it's not flattering.
Oh god, the hero. Yeah, that's her gigantic man jaw.
Yeah.
Did you remember that Photoshop somebody did of her with a beard?
Oh, wait, this gets dumber. Hold on. I got something else that was sent
God,
to me. Let me get it.
That is a man's jaw.
Oh, wait.
Look at that.
Look at this.
I think I've got a sharper jaw than that.
Oh my god, that guy looks
God,
familiar.
she looks like me with better hair.
Look at the dude. That's a dude in the picture next. Look how similar that is.
Now, Favre, come on, that's stretching the definition of a man when you're talking about Nikocado avocado.
Well, whatever.
God.
It's vaguely male. Okay.
Yeah, she looks like Nikocado avocado. That's disgusting.
Male in sex only. Or genetics.
Yeah, fucking Phoenix.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, a woman can only be a strong style protagonist if she looks exactly and acts like a man.
Pretty much. It's the way they act.
But
never mind. Like they always forget about actual, female characters because they don't want to. And what it boils down to is they don't give a fuck about the quote unquote new demographic. They don't give a fuck about trans people or gay people or the LGBT community. What they give a fuck about is they don't want to hire the kind of writers that can actually write good, strong female leads because they don't want to pay for it.
Well, I don't think it's because they don't want to pay for it, because the writers they've got right now are not expensive writers.
That's what I mean. But they can't write it. They don't want to pay for writers that can actually write.
Let's just.
Well, it's not even. It's not even a matter of money. It's a matter of hiring the correct people. They could get writers who can do it for cheap.
Let's just pin the tail on the donkey here and put it directly to the issue. The issue is a bunch of corporate cowards who fear nothing more than negative PR because none of them have obtained their positions due to talent or competency, and nothing more than blame pushing onto other people and stealing other people's success.
Well, that is corporate culture.
Yes, and that's the problem. The biggest problem is the idiots at top who don't know shit and will fear random people on the internet saying mean words. So they'll screw over actual talent so that they can appease people and they don't get yelled at.
But they fear the right people saying mean words. They don't fear the most people saying mean words at all, right? They fear the people with the right kind of politics saying mean words.
It's all just Hollywood adjacent because shit is wrapped up in that.
I'd say it's a yes and no situation. It's less about the politics, and it's more that most people won't say something, they simply won't buy it. So the completely deranged person on the internet screeching is who they only pay attention to. It's just
but you also have to look at it.
You see these people pushing back all the time. Whenever somebody criticizes these people, they always get slapped back at, right? It's just a tidal wave of responses. But if somebody with the right politics criticizes them, they get listened to.
Yeah,
and again, this goes back to my point about
fucking barely.
Well, and this goes back to my point about the writers, which is how do these writers get hired? They didn't get hired based on merit. They got hired because they knew people, right? It's the same system as produces writers in Hollywood. Nepotism. None of these people are good. It's all just people who know people and nepotism.
Oh, pardon me.
Yeah, I went to college with this person. Guys, I'm going to head, but thanks everyone for having me, okay?
All right.
Yeah, man.
Take care.
Yeah. Later.
All right. But to bring it back to the original thing, the what was going on with 2K's sports games or franchise, if you prefer, is just becoming worse and worse. I think they even have that in one of the racing games they produced.
Well, I know there was a big
with a slot machine included in it.
Probably.
I can't even remember.
I don't remember because it all started to become white noise because it's so commonplace with them.
Just a blatant degree of screwing your customer base over, encouraging this faux gambling, and just monetizing, but people overlook it for some reason.
With this company in particular, it's just bizarre.
And I guess it just is one of those situations is that how much monetization are people willing to put up with? My theory is a lot of people will put up with it until it gets to their breaking point.
I think it's getting close from some people because some people have legit started boycotting games and series over shit like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why WoW is dead, right? Because WoW decided
It's
to
one of many reasons. Yeah,
ram their. They decided to ram their product into the ground. Didn't they? Did they try to do a whole bunch of weird monetization stuff at the same time, or was it just their product just kind of died?
A game store, which was causing a lot of stink because it was having a game store, a thing where you could buy stuff for in game, was not a big deal in and of itself. But it was the fact that it was still like a $15 to $30 subscription fee, depending on what kind of subscription you had. And the stuff in the store was like any of the stuff you've seen in Guild Wars to purchase, it was worse, way worse to get shit from the Blizzard.
Yeah, so it was like
in-game store.
It was like $30-$40 to get anything.
Like to get a mount, it could run up to like $50.
Jesus.
And it was starting to bite into. Into a lot
I mean, like at least ANET's got the excuse they could. Yeah. Well, I mean, at least ANET's got the excuse. Like Guild Wars is free to play, right? Yeah. That's how they keep producing content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's weird and dumb, and that was a thing that was starting to drive people away. But then when they started pushing all the political BS and trying to tell people how to play the game and how to treat people in fucking chat, they put up a thing where they were changing all the chat shit because they didn't want to have to deal with bullying and cyber harassment and all this other bullshit. Like that's not your place to fucking tell people.
I've been around long enough that I remember when they started doing the name policing.
Yeah.
That's when I started getting concerned about it.
That was when it started to get dumb.
The big problem, and I'll tie this to what AW was saying, is that we're dealing with large corporations. As they slowly bleed the talent and the people who are actually passionate away from these projects, they fill them with more trash. And when they fill them with more trash, they become more willing, because these people don't have standards, to not push back against a monetization. And the monetization becomes more and more odious because the business people only know how to bleed money out of the customer. And the creatives know nothing about the integrity of the game. They know nothing about the audience or the business to begin with. So it becomes a cycle. It keeps getting worse. The corporate culture keeps pushing certain elements, and nobody's looking out for the health of the franchise with respects to their customers. They start referring to them as fans or consumers
or communities.
My favorite Marxist term, and so on and so on. And this has a direct feedback. It's why we see these corporations getting worse, the games getting worse from them, and they keep just making it worse as well with how much how obvious it is they're trying to grab your wallet.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I think is a lot of the root of some of this problem, at least, is the fact that there's this divide between the business people and the creatives.
Oh yeah,
if in a properly run gaming company, the business people should be creatives, right? They should have a passion for what they're doing and not be bean counters who are just complete normies who go home and watch sports on the weekend.
It's the exact same problem we had, in Hollywood before it went completely insane. This was already a problem in that regard, where a lot of the people getting put in charge of productions in Hollywood were pure corporate. They had no passion or creative drive.
Well, to hook that up to what you're saying about Metzen was a person who was a creative. He was involved in the creation of the games. Now, he did take a more executive position as Blizzard got bigger. And as like Armchair was saying, is the problem is these corporations get bigger and bigger, they fill in more with bean counters who know nothing about what's being created. And then it just turns into an exercise of, oh, we've drained that dry. Let's buy something else and then drain it dry.
Yeah, because they get filled up with and staffed with people who got hired based on the requirement to fill a corporate job, which means they're not people who give a damn about video games. They're people who have a degree in accounting or whatever.
They're not coming up through the process. It's like, let's just use a theoretical grocery store. You could have in the past where a guy started out as a bagger, he worked his way through every position in there till he's one of the execs. Now it's a guy who's never been anywhere but the office trying to run it. And there's a fundamental disconnect because they don't understand the business in which they're running, and they don't have any passion for it, like AW was saying.
Yeah, I mean, and I think you see sort of successful businesses have people in the executive suite who actually care about the business that's being done. Actually, I mean, this is kind of it's kind of surprising. I mean, the example
a friend
that
of
springs to
ours
mind
just shared something with me.
Go ahead.
And I'm not going to get into it too much, but I just want to point out that it exists in relation to this. Bloomberg, Bloomberg.com has an article that popped up that says the video game business has a long and troubled history of sexism and gender stereotypes. A round of scandals at multiple gaming companies offered a reminder that the industry has a lot more to do to fix its culture and repair its reputation. No, motherfucker. What it needs to do to repair its reputation is actually put out good games that people want to play and not inundate them with stupid bullshit like this.
I mean, what the industry needs to do to repair its reputation is fire the assholes who are doing this, because none of these people were involved in producing good games. This is like what the idiots at Blizzard who have been producing shit for the last 10 years. Okay, yeah, we can get rid of them.
Or
Good
let's look at EA. Do most people even understand what EA was originally? Electronic artist. I remember when they used to put out games in these like little record album slips, and it'd talk about the lead producer, they talk about the team. They treated them like they were artists, and that you were getting a thing that was very much a personal creation. Now they're just a corporation where people look at EA and they don't even know what it meant.
Yeah. Well, also, I mean, any like how would I put this? Criticism coming from Bloomberg or from other such outlets like that, really, from honestly, this is the left wing of the mainstream media.
Well,
I don't even see why we should be discussing it. Right? It's not relevant. It's pointless.
It's not. Let me point out one of the most hilarious comments on this stupid article.
Go ahead.
One of their favorite targets in these stupid arguments is Bayonetta.
Yeah.
And I love this comment because it pretty much nails it. I'm not sure why Bayonetta is considered an example of an over-sexualized female. That's literally one of the main points for design. She's a strong woman who chooses to display her sexuality because she wants to. This doesn't degrade her in any way.
Yeah, right. These people don't understand
actual
anything.
Female empowerment, because it's the power for them to do what they want to do when they're capable of doing it. It's not the power to be butt ugly and then magically know how to do everything.
But well, you also realize that like females are not empowered by making them into men.
No, they are not. That's not female empowerment. That's fucking gender dysphoria for one thing, or dysphoria, excuse me. But I mean, God, I'm not going to get into this. Argument is tired, and it makes my brain tired. It's just stupid. It's been beaten to death, and it had no meaning the first time it was brought up. It has not had any more meaning over time.
Also, these people honestly wouldn't know sexism if it slapped them in the face. Like,
I'm pretty sure they would.
I actually cannot think of a video game I'd say in the last 20 years, probably before that, which is genuinely sexist.
There's been one or two which were very deliberately that way, and they didn't. Guess what? They didn't do very well.
Well, like, cause I can't think of a game in which women are genuinely portrayed as being inferior to men. right? Not just different. Different is fine. Different is natural. That's how biology works. Inferior.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't. I mean, God, the video games have been pushing, gender equality since the days of Metroid.
Metroid, Tomb Raider, like Lara Croft didn't become popular just because she had big fucking tits that were polygonal as all fuck anyway. Because it was a good game with a likable fucking lead, at least until fucking Rihanna Pratchett got a hold of her.
Yeah.
No. Yeah,
I mean, the big titties were part of that, but it certainly wasn't.
It was part of the appeal because it drew the attention. But her character was what stuck.
Yeah, there's plenty of games with well endowed women in them, which have not done well because they're bad games.
Yeah, very true. Guys, we're past the hour mark. Any guys got any closing thoughts?
God, I mean, I'd say, I mean, this is all just sort of a reflection of broader negative trends in gaming, and we've all been able to see this train wreck coming for a long time now, as far as microtransactions, legalizing gambling, targeting gambling at children, on and on and on. It's. I mean, we've been able to see this coming for a long time, and hopefully things will start getting done about it. I mean, in as much as people don't like, in as much as conservatives don't really like regulation. I mean, I think some of the action that's been taken out there to regulate loot boxes in video games has been very positive.
I think in the long term, this will probably end up being a positive trend because it's going to get more people aware of what's going on, and it might push them back. And even if they don't get that pushback, the positive end is it might submarine some of these colossal corporations who've built up so much and allow actual creatives to move back into the industry.
Yeah, and especially when they pile so much reliance upon these very unreliable things.
So, well, actually, this goes back into sort of a larger problem with corporate America these days, which is too few, too big companies.
Mm-hmm.
I think honestly, the games industry can use some pretty significant trust busting.
Jet, will you stop that?
Well, I think it's just a basic situation is that in a political sense, we can look back to Bush and thank him for not letting a bunch of corporations that should have fail. Because that's how we used to allow these things to sort out.
Well, it's just like with the banks. The bank bailout was asinine
so
too.
If EA actually goes down from all this, it's actually an overall positive. Because
if 2K eats shit from this, I'll fucking have a drink to their demise.
So I think that just in the market of opportunity, allowing corporations to get to a point where people say no and then allows them to just collapse is actually the best positive, because that's how a lot of these things used to be handled before government overmucking got involved. But that's my opinion. We'll probably see more of this for a while, at least in my opinion.
I kind of agree, yeah.
I surrender the mic to you.
All right, guys, I'm just going to wrap us up because we usually like to keep these around an hour or so. Thanks, everybody who showed up. Thanks, Revan, if you looked at this again. I know you had to take off early. Thank you, Eve and Phoenix, and anybody else who shows up later to have a look at this. Everybody that's fucking brilliant. Thanks, idiot. Have a great fucking day. And, hey, enjoy your holidays and shit. I'm going to get fucking nice and buzzed since it's too fucking hard for me to get drunk on New Year's. Have a great fucking week, guys. Later.
Thanks for joining us.
Yep.